everybody. My name is Sheri Nedikla. I'm a speech and language therapist and I'm also a movement therapist. I love to include movement into everything I do, and in the past few years I've realized how important movement is in children's lives and how much they can learn if we incorporate more movement into their everyday. So today our video is about how we can incorporate movement into book reading. How exciting would that be? Generally, when we look at book reading, we're looking at, come here, sit down, let's read a book. And for any child, if they can participate in the book more, it would be more exciting. So I'm going to give you a few examples of books that you could use. We're going to list down some books at the end of the video too that you can try out. I'm also going to have my friends show you the ways that they are using movement in their books. Enjoy. We're going to figure out why movement is important while book reading, because when you incorporate movement, one, it engages the children a lot more. They're more excited about the whole activity rather than like, oh no, I have to do this activity. Also, more than that, movements help a child internalize the vocabulary. They help them understand what that word means. The more they understand, the easier it is for them to use that word more functionally. Now, if they're just reading the word or just imitating the word because as a parent or a therapist you told them to, they might not really be understanding the usage of that word in different contexts. So when you teach them through movement, they're able to understand what that word means, and it gets them to engage so much more. And this is not, of course, limited to book reading. It can be in any lesson, and there's a lot of research on incorporating movement into math lessons, science lessons, all kinds of lessons, English lessons, so that they understand the importance of what they're reading or what they're learning. Okay, we are going to look at the first book. The first book I'm going to show you is a book called Hand, Hand, Fingers, Thumb by Al Perkins. This is a lovely book where you can encourage the child to sit down and do some actions with you. The story goes like this, where we say, hand, hand, fingers, thumb, one thumb, drumming on a drum. So if you can use your voice as well as movements, this is one way to get participation from the child, which is not asking questions, which is not, what is this, what are they doing, who is this, and so on and so forth, but just to get participation in the fun of doing the book as such. So it can go like this, where you go hand, hand, fingers, thumb, one thumb, drumming on a drum. And if you happen to have a small drum at home or some container that you could use, and you can go drumming on a drum. And even if the child does this, it's fine, but it's just participation. And then you can look at, oh, with your thumb drumming on a drum a little later. So these are is a fun way to get some interaction in with the book, where the book is not the enemy, which tends to be a lot of the times because we are teaching the book. So this is an example, and it goes on to say, one hand, two hands, drumming on a drum. Dum diddy dum diddy dum dum dum. So again, a fun way to get interaction going, because again, that's the whole point of the book reading. You've got to get interaction in before you look at your other goals. And there are so many goals you can work on, but what we have seen is if you can get participation with the body, with movement first, then it is easier to get your other goals. And you can work towards speech if that's something the child wants to try. So this is a lovely book to try. And another one is The Barnyard Dance. This is also a lovely book with a lot of movement that can be used. Again, you don't have to start with all of it. Don't start with everything. And that's something we have mentioned before, that you don't have to read every page in the book. You can look at, I wonder what would interest my child, and maybe start there. So for the runners, for the jumpers, for those who love a lot of movement, this is a nice book because it has a lot of movement. And again, although it talks about stomp your feet and clap your hands, everybody ready for the barnyard dance. So again, you can choose which you think what movement would connect with your child. If stomping your feet is not something they are interested, don't do that part. You do it. And you keep showing them interesting movements. There are movements where you go bounce with the bunny. So with the jumpers who love to jump, you can hold their hands and like bounce together. And that's an interesting way to get their interest towards the book. Bouncing with the bunny, strut with the duck, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of movements in this where you're going back and forth. There's like a dance in there, and this is a lovely way to build that bond between the parent and the child, or even the therapist and the child, where you're looking at doing movement together, and not where I sit down and just listen to me while I read this book. So this is another book that I've often used, where I'm able to get a lot of interaction. Again, I'm not saying it's perfect from the get-go, but this is something you could develop. Another book that I love to use, and which you will be seeing my friends show in a little while, is Going on a Bear Hunt. Again, a lovely book where you can get a lot of participation, a lot of back and forth. But the advantage of using movement, again, like we've mentioned, is you get to really understand the words because you're moving, you're understanding. So there are words in here like saying swaying, swish, swash. Now these words are really abstract. Children are not going to pick up what swish, swash is. What does that mean? But it's an interesting word. And if we add movement with it and we're going swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, what would be possible? They would understand, okay, this is what it means, right? We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. So when you say big and you're using your hands and your body and you're using your voice, they start understanding that concept of what big means. Otherwise, we're going on a bear hunt, we're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. If you read like that, it's boring. It's boring even for us to listen. Right? So this is how you could use it, and now my friends are going to show you how they are doing it.
We're going on a bear hunt, we're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day! We're not scared.
Uh-oh. Grass. Long, wavy grass.
We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no! We've got to go through it.
Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy.
We're going on a bear hunt, we're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day! We're not scared.
Uh-oh. A river. A deep, cold river.
We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no! We've got to go through it.
The clouds are flying, flying, flying. Flying up and flying sometimes down. And they are sometimes dry. Little cloud sometimes became two trees, change and became two trees. It's moving, trees are moving, 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 moving. Then the little cloud became a
Rabbit.
rabbit. Rabbit, run fast, 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 fast. Cloud is moving fast, 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 fast.
Rabbit don't
Going home, going home, going home. Run fast, run fast, run fast.
Rabbit not going out again.
Run fast, 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 fast.
If you like this video and you want to give us some support, please do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Stay safe, everyone.